Some moments carve themselves into your memory, sharp and unyielding, when the world shifts beneath you. For me, it was a quiet Thursday evening, the dishes still warm from dinner. Olivia stood at the sink, scrubbing a plate with steady hands, when she spoke as casually as if she were noting the weather. She wanted to travel alone, she said. I set my drink down, the glass clinking softly against the counter. Not entirely alone, she clarified, her eyes still on the suds. Maddie and Isa would join her, but this was for her, a journey of her own. She didn't pause her scrubbing, didn't meet my gaze. Both Maddie and I were navigating the raw edges of recent breakups, caught in that restless phase fueled by late-night wine and motivational podcasts. I could already picture the kind of adventure this would be. I asked her what she hoped to uncover abroad that she couldn't find here. Drying her hands, she finally turned to face me. She'd never had a moment to herself, she said, moving from her childhood home straight into our shared life. She needed room to rediscover who she was. We'd been married 4 years, settled into a house we'd bought just last summer. I thought we were grounded, maybe not thrilling, but unshakable. It's not about wild nights out, she added, catching the doubt in my eyes. It's not that kind of trip. She just needed space to think. I nodded, slow and deliberate. Space before what? I asked. Before we started a family? Before she felt too anchored to roam Europe's bars with Maddie and her yoga guru friend? That's unfair, she said sharply. Which part? I pressed. Her decision to go or making it without me. She sighed, a heavy exhale. She knew I'd react this way, she said, which is why she nearly booked the tickets without telling me. That's when it sank in. This wasn't a conversation. It was a courtesy notice, a formality before she followed through on her plans. She left the next weekend. I didn't try to stop her, but that night, I made a choice of my own, one she wouldn't anticipate. I drove her to the airport that morning. Not out of eagerness, but because I refused to give her any reason to call me small or spiteful. She looked more like she was headed to a chic cafe than an international flight. Linen jacket, oversized sunglasses, a sleek suitcase that screamed expense. You okay? She asked as we reached the terminal. I'm fine, I replied, shutting off the car. Got your passport? She nodded but lingered, sensing my distance. You're awfully quiet, she said. I turned to her, my voice steady. You're jetting off with 2 women who treat love like a revolving door, and you're wondering why I'm quiet? Her brow furrowed. This is exactly why I need this, she said. You twist everything. It's not always about infidelity. Maybe not, I countered, but trips like these crack open doors that should stay shut. She rolled her eyes, stepped out, and I followed to retrieve her luggage. Her kiss grazed my cheek, more colleague than spouse. I'll text when I land, she said. You don't need to, I replied. Her smile wavered. What's that supposed to mean? It means go do what you've already set your mind to. Just don't pretend it's for our sake. She didn't answer, just turned and vanished through the airport's glass doors. I drove away without a backward glance. That afternoon, I began untangling our shared finances. I didn't touch her money. I'm not that person. But I redirected my salary to a new account, canceled the autumn getaway we'd planned, and ensured the refund went to my card. I updated the billing for our utilities, insurance, even the streaming services. Small shifts, but significant. We weren't divorcing, not yet, but I was through acting like a man whose wife still valued him. She wanted space to find herself? Fine. I'd stay here, paying close attention. By day 4, her first post appeared. A wine glass on a cafe table captioned, Wandering Lisbon, Seeking Calm. Lisbon wasn't even on their original itinerary. Then came Seville, Milan, Nice, clearly an impromptu tour, hopping cities like college kids with no responsibilities. Each photo was meticulously staged. Plates of gourmet food, golden sunsets, sand-dusted toes, Olivia in breezy dresses and shades, laughing with Maddie or gazing thoughtfully at some painting. One image stopped me cold. A group shot with 3 unfamiliar men, one with his arm draped around Olivia's waist. No names, no explanation, just a caption. New faces, kindred spirits. I stared at it for a long time before saving it to a folder on my desktop. Call it suspicion, call it precaution. Either way, I was done assuming the best. I didn't comment, didn't like her posts, didn't reach out. She sent one message that week. Hey, hope all's well at home. Barcelona's stunning. I left it unread. The next day, Maddie shared a video from a beach club. Olivia danced barefoot, a drink in hand. That same man from the photo leaning close, whispering something in her ear. She didn't pull away. I watched it twice, saved it to my folder, and stayed silent. 3 weeks later, she walked back into our home like it was just another day, dropping her bags in the hall with a wide smile. God, it's good to be back, she said. You wouldn't believe the chaos with Italian trains. I stood against the kitchen counter, arms crossed. She glanced around. You moved things around? Had time, I said. She stepped closer, leaned in for a kiss. I turned slightly, her lips brushing my cheek instead. Her smile faded. Are you upset? No, I said. You're home. That's what counts, right? She gave a nervous laugh. I know how it looked, but it wasn't like that. We just needed a break. Look like you found some new friends, I said. She paused. You saw the posts? I saw enough. Richard, come on, she said. You know how group photos work. They don't mean anything. You weren't wearing your ring, I pointed out. She flinched. It was safer that way traveling. I didn't want to attract attention. I said nothing. She crossed to her suitcase, pulling out souvenirs. I got you something, she said, holding up a Vespa-shaped keychain. You always talk about Rome, remember? I set it on the counter, then opened a drawer and handed her an envelope. She opened it carefully. Inside was a bank notice confirming our accounts were now separate, paperwork showing I'd started buying out her share of the house, and contact details for a moving service I'd arranged. Her eyes widened, confused. You're throwing me out? You said you needed space. I replied, my voice even. I made sure you have it. Her voice broke. After one trip? I took a slow sip of coffee. After one choice you made without me. She sank onto the couch, trembling. It wasn't meant to be forever. I just needed time. Time for what? I asked. To flirt your way through Europe? To play single again? She looked at me like I'd wounded her. You're overreacting. You won't even hear me out. You had a month, I said. All I got were curated snapshots and cryptic captions. I didn't cheat, she insisted. Did you come close? Silence. That's enough, I said. You think you didn't cross a line, so it's fine, but you erased me the moment you left. You wanted freedom, Olivia. You have it. Freedom has a price. Tears filled her eyes. So that's it? You're done. I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I retrieved a duffel bag I'd packed for her from the closet and set it by her feet. You can stay with Isa or Maddie, I said. You've got options. She stood, her voice barely audible. This is really happening. I met her gaze. I told you not to act like it was for us. You chose. Now I'm choosing. There was no shouting, no argument, just the heavy quiet of something breaking for good. By the end of the week, she was gone. Maddie arrived in her small blue car to help move Olivia's things. She barely acknowledged me, offering a curt hey, before heading to the bedroom. Olivia moved through the house like a visitor, packing away photos, emptying drawers, leaving a half-used bottle of shampoo in the bathroom, as if she couldn't fully commit to leaving. She paused in the doorway at one point, while I worked at the dining table. This doesn't feel real, she said. I didn't look up. It is. I thought we could fix this when I came back. You should have thought of that before booking the trip without me. That weekend, my brother Aaron showed up with his truck, no questions asked. We moved the last of her things to storage. After he left, I wrapped myself in a blanket, sat on the balcony with a whiskey, and let the quiet settle. The house felt different now, but not hollow. It was mine. I wasn't angry or shattered, just free. She chased freedom across continents. I found mine right here. 2 weeks later, a call came from an unfamiliar number. I let it ring. Then emails followed. Can we talk? Just once. I didn't respond. The next day, she stood outside my house, arms crossed, trying to seem calm. I've been calling, she said. I know, I replied, locking the door. You moved on so fast. I started moving the moment you said you needed space. She searched for words, for an angle. I messed up. I met her eyes. No, you made a choice. You just didn't like the outcome. I thought we were stronger than this. No, Olivia, I said. I was strong. You were unsure. She flinched, then pulled a small box from her bag. My wedding ring, she said. I kept it the whole time. I never took it off. I didn't touch it. That ring traveled farther than our marriage ever did. She stood there, silent. I walked past her to my car. Is this really it? She asked, her voice tinged with panic. I glanced back. You wanted freedom. You got it. I drove off without looking back. 5 months later, the house was sold. We divided what needed dividing. No legal battles, just clean breaks and quiet exits. I moved into a smaller place near my office. 1 bedroom, minimal, mine. I started running again. Signed up for a photography class on Thursdays. It's odd how the small things return when you stop pouring yourself into someone who wouldn't do the same. Friends still ask if I'm sure I don't want to try fixing things. She's in therapy now, they say maybe she's changed. Maybe. But I don't need to find out. That's the gift of letting go completely. I heard she's dating again. Brief flings, nothing that sticks. She sent one final message. A photo of the Vespa keychain in her hand. No words. I deleted it. She doesn't know I kept mine. Not for her, but as a reminder that real love isn't about grand gestures or second chances. It's about who stays when it's tough, who chooses you when freedom feels easier. She left to find herself. I stayed and found me. I'm dating again, slowly, deliberately. I don't seek sparks anymore. I look for the quiet ones, the steady ones, the ones who stay when no one's looking.